This podcast is supported by The Real Real. Want to know the deal with The Real Real?
I'm always shopping The Real Real. They drop over 10,000 new arrivals every day from the luxury brands I'm obsessed with, all up to 90% off retail. Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton, Hermes, Dior, Cartier, Tiffany. P.S. It's super easy to sell on The Real Real. When I'm ready to part with my pieces, I can drop off or schedule a pickup, and they handle everything from photography to shipping. Everything. All I have to do is get paid and start shopping for my next favorite piece.
With over 38 million members and 40 million items sold, The Real Real is the world's largest and most trusted resource for authenticated luxury resale. No one else can say all that, because no one does resale like The Real Real. Thousands of new arrivals daily at 90% off retail. And right now, you can get $25 off your first purchase at therealreal.com. Go to therealreal.com to get your $25 off. That's therealreal.com.
Hello, my name's David Seaman, and this is the Three Lions Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Three Lions Podcast. My name is Russell Osborne, and this is an independent England football supporters podcast. How are you? Hope you're feeling well. There have been a few episodes that have come your way of late. Of course, the most recent one was the England Family episode. That was released on International Day of Families. It is still available at your podcast provider of choice or threelionspodcast.com. I said there'd be a few things that might surprise you in there. And I am working on a few more to come shortly. But this is a bit of a milestone episode in my eyes. Episode 365. And when you equate that to one a day, obviously, that's a whole year's worth, which is a bit mind-boggling. But it's still here. It's still going. I still enjoy doing it. And I know people still enjoy listening to it. So thank you for your continued support. Before I get on to the main subject of this episode, I just want to quickly mention a couple of things. Firstly, Crystal Palace. Congratulations to Crystal Palace for winning the FA Cup final. Beat Manchester City by a goal to nil. It's a fair observation to say that the FA Cup has fallen down the list of end-of-season targets for the top clubs in the Premier Leagues in terms of its value. I say that as I know that in the last 10 years, the likes of Manchester United, Manchester City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool too, they've all won it. So when a Wigan, a Leicester, or now most recently a Crystal Palace win it, it does bring a smile to reassure you that the magic is still tucked away there somewhere. And for an England international, Eze, to score the only goal, fabulous. Well done, Palace. If you're a Palace fan, enjoy it. Take it all in. And don't forget, not only have you got Europe next year, you've got the Charity Shield as well. Community Shield, whatever they call it. Amazing stuff. And the second thing I want to mention, England Shirt Day. Now, this is an idea I had a while back to make the Senegal game at the City Ground in Nottingham on the 10th of June an occasion where all the stands are covered in Three Lions shirts. Doesn't matter which one. Could be your home one, your away one, goalkeeper one, a retro one. If you've got a training shirt, there's loads of different colours, all together supporting the team. And I'm sure you've seen the Lionesses have recently unveiled their new shirts to wear during the summer's Euros. Good to see maybe one or two of those. And of course, there's nothing to stop you from doing it from home or the pub either whilst watching the game. Just find that shirt at the back of the wardrobe and wear it with pride. Of course, football shirts and the culture around them has grown massively in recent years. But I do have some exciting news to bring to you about the whole thing. I've teamed up with the Bobby Moore Fund, which is an arm of Cancer Research UK. But these guys focus on raising money and awareness of bowel cancer, something our 1966 captain died from whilst only 51 back in 1993. Bowel cancer is the second most common cause of cancer death in the UK, with 46 people losing their life to the disease every day in the UK. You may know someone who has been affected by it. Now, every year in April, the Bobby Moore Fund runs Football Shirt Friday. So I thought, let's try and contribute to this amazing cause. And so with the help from the guys at Cancer Research UK, I've set up a fundraising page, which you can find at fundraise.cancerresearchuk.org/page/England Shirt Day. Obviously, I will link to that in the Three Lions podcast social media pages. If you're going to the game, a donation would be great. Donation of £1. And I know it's massively pie in the sky thinking, but the City Ground has a capacity of just over 30,000. £1 each? Well, would be great. But seriously, I'd love you to give what you can. £1 is less than a coffee, it's less than a pint, it's less than a programme, but it's kind of enough to lose down the side of the sofa without noticing. But at the same time, it would have a noticeable effect for people that need it. Now, my plan is to wander around the outside of the ground prior to kick-off. I'm hoping to get one of those little card readers where you can just tap £1, and at the same time we can have the chat and check out what shirt you've chosen. And the good people at the Bobby Moore Fund have also given me 50 pin badges to sell on too. So if you're quick enough then, you can get your hands on one of those. And in all the 365 episodes of the podcast, I don't think I've ever really done anything for a charitable cause. So it would be great if you could help me out with it. And who knows, perhaps the June games on the road in the future, England Shirt Day could become a regular thing. Because this time last year we were in Newcastle, 2023 in June we were at Old Trafford, 2022 at Wolves, 2021 in Middlesbrough. Big oak trees start with little acorns. So thank you in advance. I was watching a recent episode of the ITV quiz programme, The 1% Club, and a contestant appeared on it saying he'd recently won the Football World Cup with England.
Somebody's got it right. Derek Delboy Keary.
Hello.
Delboy?
Yeah.
Is that your real middle name?
No.
No. Are you a big Fools and Horses fan?
It's all cushy.
What do you do, Derek?
Play football mostly.
Do you?
Yeah.
And are you any good?
Well, we won the World Cup last weekend.
Sorry? That does deserve an applause, but it also deserves a, what the hell are you talking about? Like a seniors World Cup.
Over 75s.
Well, every player has to be over 75?
Yeah. It's the first time an England men's football team has won the World Cup since 1966.
You never had a World Cup on this show. Congratulations to you, Derek Delboy. And, more importantly, you're still in this.
Yeah.
You could be our oldest winner of this as well.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. Right, let's see what that's done to the prize pool.
This piqued my interest because I looked at him and I thought, really? I began to look into it. Turns out the tournament had been in August last year, 2024, and then obviously 1% Club filmed since then and was released late April, early May, whenever it was. I can't believe I'd not heard of it. My first thought was walking football, of which you'll know I recorded an episode on that recently. But this appeared to be regular football. Turns out it was the Veterans World Cup. Scratched about a little bit more. It was held in Wales, and it was the 5th edition of the tournament. And then I dug a little deeper and I found a player, an England World Cup winner. It's my pleasure to welcome to the podcast Phil Stevenson to explain a little bit more about it. Hello there, you all right?
I'm good, thank you.
Welcome along. Yeah, England World Cup winner. How about that?
Yeah, it felt good, I've got to say. Yeah, it was excellent.
I bet it was.
The rules, it was running football, you were quite right, but the World Cup, it was the first ever for the over 75 age group, and it was 7-a-side as opposed to 11-a-side. But it was obviously no offside, but other than that, running football rules.
Gotcha. Okay, so I guess the obvious question then is you are over 75 then?
I am.
I mean, so there were two tournaments being played or something? There was the over 70s and over 75s?
Over 70s as well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we had 2 teams in that. Yeah, I think those were the only 2 age groups.
Okay.
Obviously, at my age, dementia comes as part of it. No, I'm only joking there. I think it was 2 age groups in it.
Right. So, I mean, how long have you been playing then to still be playing? You must be in good nick.
The sort of history of it, on a personal level, this is.
Yeah.
I was fortunate. A friend of mine knew somebody in the England over 75 setup when I went for a trial, and I was fortunate enough to be selected. But this was for the first ever over 75s international 11-a-side against Wales, which was either June or July of last year before the World Cup. And that was played at St. George's Park.
Okay.
And it was we played for the Nye Bevan Shield. That is part of the philosophy of the older age groups. It's a paraphrase of the John Kennedy quote. It's not what the NHS can do for you, it's what you can do for the NHS in terms of older people staying fit and not being a burden on the NHS. So that explains the Nye Bevan Shield, obviously with the NHS. And the over 70s play for the NHS Cup or something to do with the NHS. And the over 65s, because no football can take place without officials. So the over 65s play for the Dermot Gallagher Cup. So that's just a brief background. So,
okay.
But that debut at St. George's, at 75 years of age, a highlight in my career.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, did you play football as a youngster?
Yeah, I played 11 as not to any great level. I played for LSE Old Boys 11-a-side. I wasn't bright enough to go LSE, but I played for Economicals on Saturday football. I played 11-a-side till I was about 41 or 2. And so the game against Wales was my first running 11-a-side game for over 30 years.
I bet you felt that. Not just during the game, but the next day and the next few days.
Well, no, about 5 minutes after, to be honest, Russell.
Love it. Oh,
well, that was fantastic. I mean, you walked on that pitch and it was huge. I played right side or right wing back, whatever you call it today. I could hardly see my teammate on the other side of the pitch. It was huge.
And this is at St. George's. Is this one of the pitches on the outside? Because I know it's like surrounded by pitches.
It was the indoor pitch, Russell.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. But it's still a full size, is it?
Full size, yeah.
Superb. What was the result of that game then on your England debut?
I'm glad you asked me that. 7-1 we won that one.
Oh, really? That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
So
I've got to temper that back because we played Wales 2 weeks ago in the return in Newport and they got their revenge. They beat us 4-0. So I've just got to do that
to even it up. What goes around comes around. Yeah. Well, I mean, Wales have proved to be one of the opposition in, I guess, your career and England of this age group's career, because how this all came about was because England won the World Cup. And as I started digging about, I thought I need to know a little bit more about this. So, I mean, what could you tell me about this particular World Cup? How did it come about? Because by all accounts, so it was the 5th edition of this tournament, but it was the first for the 75s.
First for the 75s, yeah.
Right.
It made first for the 70s. I'm not 100% on that, to be honest. But it's definitely the first for the 75s.
Right. So did you have to qualify?
Sorry? No. No, there's teams from Germany, Denmark, America. Some were national teams, and like the Americans had a couple of teams in it. So, I don't know what you'd call them, club sides or area sides. I'm not sure about that. But I can't remember how many games we played in the group stage.
Well, from what I dug around, it's spread over 4 days, was it?
Yeah.
So, but it looks like you beat Cymru, which is Welsh for Wales, I believe. Was that 14-0?
I think the Welsh had 2 teams in it.
Right. Okay. It looks like you beat them 14-0, and then you beat Roskilde 7-0.
Yeah. I got injured in that game.
Oh, did you? Oh,
yeah. Which ended my participation. So, yeah. So we got the final, and I said, just get me on for a minute, so I could say I played in a World Cup final.
Too right. Yeah.
Badgering the skipper Jeff Martell too much, really, to be honest.
Right.
And we went 3 up at half time, so I thought, great, cruising. But Wales got it back to 3-2. I went on with a minute ago, and they made it 3 each. So that was my contribution. So it went to penalties.
This is the final, isn't it?
This is the final. It went to penalties, and I was the only English player who had their spot get saved. So I contributed greatly to the winning of the World Cup on a personal level.
But you played your part. That's the main thing.
I did score in one of the earlier games, so I got my first goal for England.
I bet that felt good.
It did, yeah.
Just to go back on what appears to be like the progress of getting to that final, beat NC United, which I assume is possibly one of these American sides. I think
it was one of the American sides. Yeah.
Beat Germany 4-1 as well.
Yeah.
Day 3, called OK United, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I think there might be another American team, or the Danish. I can't. I'm sorry, Russell. You know more than me. I mean, to be honest.
So I've done a little bit of digging. I'll try and do my research. But that put you into the final, obviously, which you just mentioned there, which was drawn 3-3 and 1 on the penalty shootout. So you said that it's a 7-a-side team, is it?
Yeah. Against Wales at St George's, it was 11-a-side, and when we played Wales in the return at Newport, that was 11-a-side as well.
And that was most recently, wasn't it?
But for the World Cup. There's another one for later on this year in Japan, and apparently that's 8-a-side.
Okay, so are there no sort of strict rules for the competition then, or the age group?
I mean, taking into account the age. I know I can tell you there's some quite tasty tattles getting, surprisingly, for the age group. Yeah, I mean, it's very competitive. People don't lose that competitive edge.
No. But I mean, more for the amount of players per team, is there no strict ruling on it? If there's maybe 7-a-side in one game, 8-a-side in another, and 11-a-side in another?
Oh, I see what you mean. No, for the World Cup, every game was 7-a-side.
Right. Okay.
Right. And in Japan later this year, that will be 8-a-side.
So how's the difference with that?
I'm not sure why they've decided it's 8-a-side, and because the over 70s played 11-a-side.
Right. Okay. Can an say a 76-year-old player play for the over 70s, or is there a?
Yep. Yeah.
It can. Okay. So you could still turn out for the over 70s
if selected, which is very doubtful.
Well, let's
no,
talk.
I've not tried to play. I mean, I think there's a couple of players in the. Well, there are. I know there's 2 or 3 players in the over 70 squad that qualify for the over 75s as well.
Yeah.
In fact, our player manager plays for both. And that's Ken Pollock, player manager.
Oh, do you know, I was just going to go down that road of who is the selector, and there's your man. Was it Ken Pollock?
Pollock. Yeah.
Careful how I say that.
Yeah.
What's Ken like then as a player manager, you say?
I've got to say he's the greatest. I'm going to keep that position. No, it's good. He organises it very well. I'm talking apart. Yeah, he's on the ball, and he puts a tremendous amount of work into the organisation of the team and any games we're involved in.
So you say he does a lot of the organisation. Is the team? I mean, is it affiliated to the FA that we know as?
No, we get support from the FA in the sense, we played at St George's, which we couldn't have done without their support. There was a woman involved from the FA, and I actually asked Ken earlier, but we couldn't remember her name, who was involved in the development, I think, of the Women's Super League and things. And she was very supportive of the age. And I think the age groups in the England setup got from over 50s, over 55s, over 60s, etc. But we have to buy our own kit and everything. We don't get sponsored from the FA or anything.
And you have to look
not buy our own kit. Sorry, the kit's provided, but our own tracksuits and
yes,
stuff.
Yeah, and your boots and your shin pads and all that sort of stuff. Isn't it?
No, I'm sponsored, Russell. So I'm
like, yeah.
No, that's a joke.
Oh, I was going to say you could shout out your sponsor. Well, perhaps this should be a podcast initiative to get you a sponsor.
Yeah, yeah. Oh. Help the aged or saga spring to mind.
I mean, we laugh, but yeah, it's possibility that like organisations like that could get involved. But yeah, there is a little bit of support there. The fact they let you use St George's and the like, which must be a great experience.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, yeah, it's definitely the high. For me personally, it's a bigger highlight than the World Cup. That I was buzzing for a couple of weeks after it.
Yeah. Well, with the World Cup, that was in Wales, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was that whereabouts in Wales was that played? Anywhere glamorous?
The Cardiff, I think the Cardiff City Academy was adjoining it, and I'm not sure whether it was the university grounds. It was in Cardiff anyway.
Right.
Good facilities and really well organised and hot.
Was it?
Yeah, it was hot. Yeah,
oh, right. So as we're speaking. Middle of May at the moment. Just recently, you played Wales again. You said that you lost.
Yeah.
Was that back in Wales? Was that?
That was in Newport. I think we're in the facilities where the Welsh team train. I think. Yeah, so sort of reciprocal agreement with the English training place. Yeah, excellent facilities, brilliant pitch. Not like when I was playing Stockport Sunday League. Which pitch.
Was there banter with the with your Welsh counterparts about the final?
Yeah, a bit of banter. Yeah, but it's played in a good spirit. A tremendous spirit between the two teams. Even in the World Cup final, everything. It was really enjoyable.
I mean, we all know of the regular World Cup coming around every 4 years. So, how long does this come around? Is it a yearly thing or?
It's annually, and apparently. It's Japan this year, Australia next year, and Texas the year after that. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So, before we
need it back in Europe, though.
Well, yeah.
I'll be a bit old by then. Hopefully, there'll be an over 80s by then.
Yes. I mean, we'll get to Japan in a moment, but apparently you're going to Germany or playing Germany soon.
Yeah, I think July we're due to play, an 8-a-side game in preparation for the World Cup in Germany. It's near Bremen, sorry, but it's not actually in Bremen, but I think that's where we'd fly to. Yeah.
And are the Germans any good? Obviously, you beat them in the in the rounds of the World Cup.
Well, it's difficult to say. It's like when we played Wales this year. A few of their players, obviously, had come up from the over 70s age group, so you never know whether you're going to be playing whether a team's strengthened, like the Welsh squad was obviously strengthened by getting these guys from the coming up from the over 70s, and possibly Germany will have a similar thing. So it's difficult to gauge, the strength of the opposition based on that. People moving through the age groups.
Is it like players coming through the under 21s to the senior team?
Well, the over 70s are our academy.
Yes. Love it. So the next World Cup, the 2025 World Cup, this say is going to be in Japan.
Yeah.
What do you know about that?
Other than the dates, which is October the 1st to October the 3rd, I think. And it's 8-a-side. That's all I know. Is the details I've got.
Okay. Well, perhaps nearer the time we can find out a little bit more and wish you all the luck. Yeah. And maybe get some expats who are over there, maybe some listeners in Japan who can turn up and support.
The game against Wales last year, that was on, is the BBC Good Morning Britain? I don't know. I don't watch it.
No, good. Well, one of the morning programmes, was it?
Yeah, it was on the BBC one.
What, the actual game, or was there a sort of...
No, they interviewed people, during and after the game and in the build-up to it, yeah.
Okay, I'll have to have a find and look at that. As I said, it just bypassed me, the whole tournament. It's only since I saw that 1% Club. And who was the fella on the 1% Club?
That was Derek. He's the goalkeeper.
Ah, okay. Good goalkeeper then, I guess, was he?
I couldn't say anything different, could I?
No, perhaps he was better than his general knowledge.
Oh, I didn't see the programme, so you're one up on me there.
He seemed a character.
Yeah, he is, yeah. I don't want to be all about me, but I would recommend, because I play walking football, for Leighton Orient, and people scoff at walking football, but I'll tell you, it's a lot more strenuous than people think, and it's really worthwhile if you're into football and you're getting older. It's a worthwhile thing to do. I mean, I joined Leighton Orient in my mid-60s, and suddenly you've got a whole new bunch of friends as well as enjoying the football. So I'd highly recommend it, obviously for fitness as well. But this is about the England thing. That was just to digress a bit.
Well, as I mentioned at the beginning, there is the England walking football team. So I spoke with Stuart Langworthy. I think is the manager or the coach there. Has spoken highly of the walking football association.
There's 3 different England walking football teams, I think.
Right.
Yeah, with the different WFA. I can't remember all the others, but
it's certainly growing, walking football.
Oh well, like the standard, Russell, has gone through the roof. I mean, unbelievable from when I started.
Yeah,
played a couple of tournaments in York. I played against Chris Waddle.
Wait, played against Chris Waddle?
Yeah, he was playing for Hallam.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and played against this couple from Forest. Brian Roy was one of them, and they had a couple of other ex-pros. This is walking football, not the level side.
Yeah. And can you still see their quality just walking?
Yeah.
Can still put a ball on a sixpence.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, great stuff.
Oh, yeah,
if someone wants to, we found out about walking football before and all that, but if someone is of an age to wanting to play over 70s, 75s football, what's your suggestions?
Well, I would say walking football, but 11-a-side football's growing all the time. I think there's about 20 counties now. We've got county teams for certain age groups. But for me, if you're starting at over 70, I think walking football is your best bet.
Yeah.
If you've not done it for a number of years.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I think team running football could be a bit much. Because I've never stopped playing football. Since I was at primary school, at one form or another.
Yeah. As an England football fan, or a football fan in general, I know you're a Manchester United fan as well. What are your thoughts on on England, the senior team?
I think as a nation, I was going to use the word arrogant, but I didn't. That's perhaps not the right word. I just think that we think we are a major football nation. Now, this isn't going to go down well on a Three Lions podcast, but if you look historically at your World Cup winners, you got your South American heavyweights, or Argentina and Brazil, or Brazil haven't been that successful in modern times. And then you look at your European heavyweights, you've got France, Spain, Italy, Germany. And those 6 teams, it's one of those that usually wins it. Mm. And you could say even the Netherlands, because they've been to 3 finals. I know they haven't won it. And I think England fans think we'd have this automatic right to win. Like Gareth Southgate got unbelievable stick, but his record for an England manager was fantastic. Yeah. Semi-final in Russia, 2 finals of Europe. And people are criticising him. I mean, I just think, we over-expect. We won it once at home. Was it a goal? Was it not a goal? I was young enough to, I was 17, so I was there and remember it.
You were there, were you?
No, sorry, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Actually, my uncle had a ticket, which he didn't use. I never knew that till years later.
Oh, shocker.
So obviously you want England to do well. I mean, the way the modern game is, we're qualifying now. I mean, qualifying for the World Cup and the Euros is a bit of a joke, really, isn't it? No disrespect to the opposition, but, I think I could manage England to beat San Marino or people, it's, but it's getting the world involved, which is good, getting all the nations involved. But I think perhaps sort of play off with the smaller nations before the qualifying groups. I don't know. But it's expanding all the time. It's going to be 64 teams in the finals soon, isn't it? Realistically. Yeah. And I think talking about current England chances, I mean, I genuinely think we've got some really talented players and some young talented players, all the clubs. So we really should, I think we'll have a chance. I think we'll have a chance of winning the World Cup. So as I say, Spain have got a good side, haven't they? Germany are getting stronger again. Italy will probably, they've failed to reach the last 2 World Cup finals, haven't they?
Do wonder if they're going to bounce back in some way. Yeah. I mean,
Inter Milan team's doing okay. So, we've definitely got a chance. Don't get me wrong. I'm not writing us off as a chance. I do think we've got some talented players. And it'll be interesting to see how Tuchel goes.
I was going to say, is Tuchel the man to do it, or could it be Ken Pollock in charge?
I think Harry Redknapp would prefer Ken Pollock.
Well, maybe. You never know. Phil, listen, thank you very much for your time. It's really appreciated. It's just giving us an insight into the over 75s World Cup. Speaking to a World Cup winner. It's a privilege. It's a privilege.
Thank you.
I wish you all the very best in the upcoming World Cup in Japan. Stay in touch. Let us know what happens. It'd be good to follow it this time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I will be in touch. And thanks for the opportunity to talk to you, Russell. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you to Phil there. That was really interesting. It's great to hear what the over 75s World Cup was like there. Obviously, I'll try and find some more about this year's finals in Japan for you nearer the time. Now, let me just remind you once again of that fundraising page for England Shirt Day. It is fundraise.cancerresearch.org/page/England Shirt Day. fundraise.cancerresearchuk.org/page/England Shirt Day. I will, of course, link to that on the Three Lions podcast social pages. It is a bit of a mouthful. I don't know if you remember, it was years ago now, there was a Radio 1 DJ. I think it was either Pete Tong or Dave Pearce. I think it was back in the early days of when the World Wide Web was in its infancy, and was giving out a web address, and he started it by doing the old HTTP : / and the big long web link. Find that on YouTube. It's really funny. But yeah, I appreciate how long that web link will be. It will be on the podcast social pages: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Blue Sky, Threads too. If you want to contact me directly, you can go through those. Of course, email is good as well. 3lionspodcast@gmail.com. Obviously, I'm going to try and push this as much as I can. You can help me by spreading the word too. I'd really appreciate that. I will be back with you very soon with some more England-related content. I hope you can join me for it. So until then, take care of yourselves. Cheers.